Okay, we're going to start this lecture. We're dealing with adding any fraction, any pair of fractions together. So always with fractions, we want to look at the general case. And in this case, we'll have a over b plus c over d. And this is where a, b, c, and d are all positive integers, and b and d are not equal to 0 because we can't divide by 0. Okay, and then we'll see how this applies then, how you write this in simpler form. So first of all, we want to multiply the denominators together, like so, and then in the numerator we'll have a and d being multiplied together, and then we'll add that with the product of c and b. So this looks like bd in the denominator, and we'll have a times d in the numerator plus b times c. Okay, so that's the general case, and that's what we'll apply in the following examples. So example 1, say we have a half plus 3 over 4. So as before, in the general case, multiply the denominators together. We multiply 4 and 1 together, and then add that with 2 times 3. Okay, so if we do that, we'll have 2 times 4 in the denominator, and in the numerator we'll have 1 times 4 added to 2 times 3. And then if we simplify, we'll have 4 plus 6 all over 8. So that'll simplify to 10 over 8. And then there's a common factor between 10 and 8. The highest common factor happens to be 2 here. So if we factorize 2 out of this, we have write it as 5 over 4. And then 2 over 2 will simplify to 1. So we'll be left with our answer, which is 5 over 4. Okay, the next example, we'll look at a bit more complicated fractions. So say we have 17 over 19, and we want to add that to 3 over 11, say. So like before, we just apply the general form. So multiply the denominators together. That will result in 19 by 11. And then we're dealing with the numerator now. So we want to multiply 17 with 11. So that will give us 17 by 11 up here in the numerator. And then we want to add 19 times 3 to that. So this will be plus 19 times 3. Okay, and then we want to simplify it again. So we have 17 by 11, that's going to be 187. Plus 19 by 3 is going to be 57. And then the product of the denominator will be 209. Okay, I'll simplify this a bit further by adding 2 numbers on the numerator. So we'll have 244 over 209. And this can't be simplified any further, so we're just left with 244 over 209. Okay, in the next example we'll add 3 fractions together, just to see that we can still use the same general form, except it's a bit longer calculation. Alright, so say we have 9 over 4. We want to add 4 over, say, 3. And we also want to add 15 over 17. Right, so in this case, we're just going to look at the first 2 fractions. We can forget about 15 over 17 for now. We can just apply the general formula that we've been using in this case. So we have 4 over 3 in the denominator, so 4 times 3. And then we have 9 times 3 in the numerator and 4 times 4 also. So we'll have 9 times 3 plus 4 times 4. So this will give us 27 plus 16 all over 12. So then we'll have 27 plus 16 is 43, all over 12. That can't be simplified now, so that's our sum for the first part. But now we have to add 15 over 17 to our sum. So to get our final result, so we write this here, and yet again we apply the same formula. So we'll have 12 over 17 in the denominator, and the numerator will have 43 times 17 plus 15 times 12. Okay, and then we want to simplify again. So 43 times 17 is 731 plus 15 times 12, which is 180. And then we'll have 12 times 17 in the denominator, so 204. And we'll see if this simplifies any further. So we're going to be left with 911 over 204 is our final answer.